I would like to start off by thanking all you viewers who have continuously viewed my channel, even maybe though it may not be during the actual stream. I have noticed quite a few people viewing it, so I would like to send a special thanks out to you. And for today's stream, we are going to switch it up a bit. Essentially, I'm just going to go ahead and start by rebuilding a vehicle in my parking garage, that being the 1969 Bolt Supernova I have in my garage. And once we get that rebuilt, we'll go ahead and move over to the barn where we'll purchase whatever vehicles they might have in it. And I'm just gonna give you a demonstration on essentially just getting a vehicle started. So we'll just be getting those vehicles started just to sell them off and get them back on the road where they belong. After that, we'll move to salvaging parts, followed by the closing of the episode, which will take a few orders from the shop. And yeah, so that'll be the stream. If this sounds like something you'll enjoy or find entertaining, please feel free to join. Uh, the stream does go by much better when there is somebody to chat with. So that that I have found the hard way. But with that, uh, let me go ahead and get that vehicle from the parking garage. There it is over there, that Supernova. It's not actually pimped, as you may have seen some of my YouTube videos. Kind of a phrase I use to describe rebuilding a vehicle to a pristine condition is the word pimped. Like the TV series back on MTV back in the day called Pimp My Ride, for those of you old enough to recall. What was I thinking? There was something I was thinking. Oh yeah. Just wanted to confirm my audio for the stream was coming in alright for you guys. But so yeah, this is the Bolt Supernova 1969. As you can see, the rims have seen better days, though the body looks pretty good. It's essentially, I believe I got this from a barn, which would explain why the body still looks as good as it does. So it's already been through the car wash. So we're just going to go ahead and take it to the lift. And let's get a look at the condition here. So the body's at 77, frame's at 60%, parts at 31%, and the interior is at 92. So all in all, it's in really good condition, and we should be able to repair a great deal of these parts. So just to get started, we will start by removing all the parts from the engine bay. That's what they call it, right? I haven't had any coffee today, so words, they come and they go, but they don't come well. Oh, and I had my 40th birthday. What the fuck? Jingays, fudgingays. Is how we say that word, fudgingays. It's a word you say when you don't want to say another one on stream in the first 10 minutes of an episode. But yeah, that was whole family forgot about it, so that's good. I don't like to celebrate my birthdays, and I'd rather not have to explain that, so it worked out. Let me just get started by removing this exhaust manifold. And let's get these body parts removed. Oh, I see. We did have one viewer join the channel. I would like to welcome you to the channel. Can't promise it'll be entertaining, but I would like to welcome you over to the channel. Feel free to chat if you'd like. If not, that's all good too. It is all good too. You understand? Alright. So, we got all the body parts removed, all the parts removed from the engine bay. Now we're just going to lift up the vehicle and start by removing the tires, and we'll start from the front to the back with the mechanical parts. Or the back to the front, not the front to the back. I never do front to back. Yeah. It's just not my deal. Alright, so got that. U-bolts. You know, there was a time when I didn't know what a U-bolt was. And I used to hear it a lot in the garage when I was growing up, because that's when they built cars with U-bolts. But, used to hear people say, oh, the U-bolt's bad. Oh, yeah, I had that bad on my car, too. You know, a lot of car talk. But, I didn't know what they were until later, when it came as a bit of a surprise when I realized it was just a U-shaped bolt that was used to keep the leaf spring on, which I also didn't know what it was, so. Gets rusted out, like, constantly. So, definitely a part that would go bad often. Given the location and the size of it, it's easily rusted. But U-bolts still exist in the larger bodied vehicles such as SUVs or pickup trucks especially, because they still build those the same as they did back in the day. Mechanically wise underneath the vehicle, with the suspension, the shocks, the struts, and all that. I mean, the engine is obviously built different with the ECU being involved, but bare construction of it is pretty much the same. If you look at the muscle cars too, like the Mustang, you'll notice that as well. They just build it cheaper, like with the, you know, smaller economy vehicles such as the one I own. it's all smaller parts. Maybe put a special part in there here and there just to be able to contract it in size and make it cheaper to sell. Easier on gas mileage. And by viewers, I'm in the beginning of the video, I was mainly referring to the viewers I get on my Twitch videos, which not streaming to today, so not really that applicable. But still, I don't know how many of them actually followed me to YouTube. I didn't really ever check. But I would hope a great deal, it'd be nice. Viewers and subscriptions matter more here than there anyway. My Twitch feed was actually created to bring viewership to my YouTube stream. Well, channel in general. No, go and use that. 950 credits, not bad. And bring it back to OEM condition. And we'll move over here. See if we have any disk we need to resurface over there. And get started on breaking down the engine. Looks like the 6-pack engine. Yeah, 446 pack. I think I might already have one of these in inventory. I was originally saving it for a custom build, but really haven't used it for that, so if I do, I'll just put it in this one. Given I'm pretty certain I'm going to sell this one, I think I already have a 69 Bolt Supernova. We'll be able to check that here in a bit when we have to go out of the screen in order to... of this screen. Did I say that right? Anyways, in order to purchase the parts required. Alright, so we have all that tore down. We'll go ahead and get started on repairing the mechanical parts and move over to the body parts. Looks like we're starting out with 10 pages. Alright, I did get those repaired. Let's go ahead and get the body parts repaired. Looks like we only have about 2 pages on that. And we'll go ahead and take that off there and put the other one on for resurfacing. Let me go ahead and check my parking garage like I stated I would. And see if we have another Bolt Supernova in there. Bolt Reptilia. Bolt Cargo. No Bolt Supernova, so we will be keeping that one. And I believe that was the last. Yep. That was the last brake disc we needed. So, looks like we don't have that V8 Hemi, which shouldn't be a problem. As we go over here into the warehouse, and well, we don't have the 6-pack. See if we have the V8. Might fit the V8. No, that's a Ford Coyote. And the only OHVs we have are the CJM, which wouldn't fit this vehicle. Might fit a V6, but none of those. Let me see. Yeah, the only one that would fit in there is the V8 Hemi 6-pack, so I guess we're gonna create one from scratch. Hemi 446 pack. He's the one I will go with. Gonna need to get that engine block. There we go. So we'll get about 20 of these, as you always need them. Excuse me. Alright, so we did get that engine rebuilt. And we can go ahead and put it into the frame of the vehicle now. Oh, we got that in the frame. We'll go ahead and lift the vehicle up and start putting back in those mechanical parts. So, get all those back in there. Now, let's go ahead and check the tire and rim sizes here. See what sizes of tires and rims we'll be putting back on it, since clearly you could tell just by looking at it they are different sizes. Looks like we should be able to save all of those rims. Was that double wishbone in the front? Yeah. 1475, 255. $14.75, $145. For the front, should have all of the rims there. We were able to repair them after all. I thought I put on the rim for a second. Alright, so we got all the body parts put back on. Let's go ahead and move it out to the front and take out any interior parts, replace those with new ones. And let's move it back over to the lift again here. We do need to get those engine compartment parts put in there, as well as the fluid. Shouldn't be for a few seconds. Fuse is taking most time. Looks like we need the shock absorbers and springs as well in the front. Alright, so we got all those parts in there. Back together. Let's go ahead and take it over to the car wash and we'll get it painted. Car wash. And just gonna see what colors it came with originally. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with brown, kind of a matte finish brown. I don't know, I just want a regular car. You know, I don't have any regular cars in there. Maybe one day I'll pimp it. More than likely. It'll be a great transformation. Excuse me. But for now, I'm going to keep it a regular brown. And let's take it to the dyno. Missing a... yeah, that makes sense. I didn't put the front shocks and springs back in there. There we go. That's one. And two. Oh, we'll just move it up to the dyno. And should be good to go. Alright, so started out with 361 horsepower at 4,565 RPM, 466 foot-pounds of torque at 2,740 RPM, ended up at 425 horsepower, 4,575 RPM, and 543 foot-pounds of torque at 2,775 RPM, putting us at an additional 18% horsepower, that being 64 horsepower, and 17% foot-pounds of torque, that being 70 foot-pounds, and a drag rating of B380. I'm surprised it got B class, to be honest. That's pretty fast. Especially for what little horsepower it has in it. But kind of a sleeper, you might say. So, we spent about 38,925 credits on the parts. Body values at 9,113 credits. Performance parts values at 1,682 credits. Condition bonus is 15,786 credits. The buy price was 17,984 credits. Sell price would be 65,506 credits, which would have made us a profit of 47,522 credits. So clearly not even enough to condone selling it. And we'll move it to the parking garage. Actually, before we move it to the parking to stay, let's go ahead and move it back out to the garage. I just want to take a quick picture. There we go. And now we'll move it over to the parking. Now that's in the parking, we can go ahead and get over to the barn. Let's see what we could find there. So essentially, like I was saying before, I'm just going to go ahead and pick up whatever vehicles are in here, go ahead and get them running, and then resell them. See what kind of profit we can get from that. Ooh, should be able to get a pretty good profit from this one. An Arizo Cortana. 20. Buy price of 141,327 credits. Not bad. It's got to be in pretty good shape at that. We'll go ahead and purchase that. That is a perfect find for this stream. Sakura Supra. A remake of the Supra kind of model. Came with a BU2. You could put a BU2 turbo engine in it. That would be pretty cool. But we will not be doing that today. We're going to buy it for $37,804. And move that onto the garage as well. And what do we got here? We got a FMW Panther MK1, which we're going to buy for 13,340 credits. We'll move that to parking for now. And with that, let's go ahead and get back to the garage. And we'll move this over to the car wash. Like a gym in a barn, I'll tell you that. And vacuum it out. Rim's kind of rusty in the back. The engine looks right. We'll take a closer look at it here in a moment, but for now, let's just move it to left one. And we're going to move this over to the car wash as well. Really shiny paint job on this. Lift B. And let's get that other one from the parking. The Panther. And we'll move that over to the garage. And we'll move that over to the car wash. And get it all vacuumed out as well. Again, paint is great condition. That barn was a gold mine. I don't know why I did that. Definitely don't want it in lift A. I moved it to lift A. Now the other vehicle's probably at the car wash. At the car wash. So we'll move that to lift A. And what we'd like to do, yeah, figure as much, is move that from the car wash to space A out front. So let's start by looking at this engine here. Oh, the gearbox is terrible. Probably gonna have to replace it. Air base is terrible. Air filter cover and base is terrible. Its starter is pretty good though. Fuel rails looking pretty bad. Throttle needs replacing. Sef turbos. No turbo. Alright, let's go ahead and get started here. Engine's not complete. Yeah, turns out it's missing an exhaust and the coolant reservoir, as well as the steering reservoir. Almost the entirety of the exhaust to be. Well, one of the throttles as well. This V12. Missing brake booster in the front. Battery, that's a necessity. Cover for the front fuse box. Windshield wiper fluid reservoir. The money was taken at this one. Fuel tank C. Thermostat. Timing chain cover. Exhaust manifold. Part of it anyway. And the front part as well on this. ECU type B. How about that? Oh, we got some missing ignition coils as well. Oh, what do we got? Like 3 of those. Yeah, we'll need those. Alright. Oh, coolant reservoir. Throttle. Fuse box cover. Fuel tank C. Thermostat. Timing chain cover. Exhaust. 2 of those. And another part of the exhaust manifold, which will only need 1. ECU. And an ignition coil. About 3 of them actually. rear rims here just so we can kind of fix them up a bit. Can't stand sending them out like that. There you go. That way, we at least don't have rusted out rims on the back. When we had the front in good condition, might as well have the rest in good condition. And since we're going to have to refill that oil anyway, we'll go ahead and replace that oil filter and change out the oil. go ahead and see if we can get that compression test going now. Right after we lift up the vehicle and get that second fuel tank in there. And with that, we'll come over here and get that fuel pump. That'd be a good idea. Right. With the state of that gearbox, I'm not even certain it's going to start with it, but we'll try that compression test anyway. Two of the pistons and concords are at 14%, which is terrible, but should still roll over on that. And even still, this is a hell of a find after replacing those parts in it. Alright, so the vehicle is still not able to start. Though the compression test ran alright. Sounds like I'm having trouble rolling over as well. Alright, so the vehicle's not starting. We do have power. We do have a new fuel pump. The throttle could be giving us some issues. I'm definitely going to replace those air filters, see if we could repair the base. Oh, let me see. Ignition coils have seen better days. That spark plug needs replaced for sure. But those ignition coils shouldn't need replaced. I'm just honestly taking them off just to see the condition of the spark plugs. Might as well just go ahead and replace them all. They're cheap enough. Looks like it was, oh no, I just took that one out. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and put these ones in there. Fitting for the type of vehicle. go and put these yellow ones in here, but I'm not gonna put back any parts below yellow. Not as far as this goes. We'll just replace those with new ones. I want to make sure it's able to start. Not questionable. Alright, so we'll go ahead and put these new spark plugs in here. Then we'll get those ignition coils put in. Normally I would just kind of fast forward over this or skip it all together. Do a nice little fade technique with the video, but we are live streaming, so that means everybody wants to see it, you know? Oh, missing a clip on the airbase. Technically the lid. That would definitely cause it not to start. I'm missing a clip there as well. So we'll take those off, see if we could repair those as well. Already got the ignition coils that needed to be replaced. We got a new fuel pump, a new battery, a new ECU. Throttle will be able to repair as well as the clips, but depending on what condition that base and the air filter lid are, we'll just go ahead and replace that with a new one. That's orange, so we'll replace that for sure. As well as that in the red. That is 2. And give a performance filter. And that's yellow, so that should be fine. Brand new clips. I'm betting those timing chain and the timing gear are gonna need to replace as well, which again could be a big part of why it's not going. Let's see if it'll start up now. Still not turning over. me run the electric test here. See the state of those fuses. Yep, relay type C. Got about 2 of those out. What happened if we had that lid too? Look at that. While we're at it, I'm just going to replace this base in and of itself. Unless we could repair it, which I doubt. Not. Okay. So it can be accessible by the engine bay, in the engine bay, and it did not want us to access it. Yeah, that's perfect, wonderful. There we go. The old ones are in orange. I'm just gonna replace them with new ones. I find it weird that it said 2 type C fuses were out. Yet I'm only seeing one in there that was out, which makes me think that there's another fuse box somewhere around the front. I'm not too familiar with this particular engine, as I don't work on it too often, if ever. But I am not seeing one in the front, so with that, let's go ahead and move this back out front. Started up. Was the fuse. Sounds good. Doesn't sound like it's missing at all, you know. Well, let's see what we can get for her. So the part value is 76,013 credits, body value 82,225 credits. Didn't even do anything with that. Performance parts value 2,065 credits. We did put in those performance spark plugs as well as the fuel filter, so that's where that came from. Condition bonus 4,889 credits. Buy price was 141,327 credits. Sell price will be 165,192 credits for a total profit of 23,865 credits. Oh, not too bad just for getting it running. Of course, it was a supercar, so that's where all the thousands came from. Ooh, here's the thing. I don't want to plug my phone into my computer, but I do want to charge it, you know? And I have all my plugs over here. Oh, kind of a pain. Alright, let's see here. I'll go ahead and replace the air filter, see about repairing the air base. Well, the air lid anyway. I don't think we can, but we'll see about it. And the air base, why not? It's both pretty bad condition. And it turns out they are popping up for repairability. So we'll get those repaired. Eliminate that as a possible problem. We need to buy a new air filter. Already have a throttle we can use. Brake servo. Fuel rail. Fuel filter. Reservoir we'll need to replace. Windshield wiper. Power steering. ABS module. Radiator A. Also gonna need a radiator fan. And missing the ECU. Buy a new one on that. Oh. Fuse. Relay type C is missing, along with the fuse box cover. I need a new fuel pump in there with a battery. Yeah, some of the exhaust pipes are missing, along with the exhaust manifold. Frankly, most of them look like they're in fair condition. I will have to replace the two of them though. And I'm not going to put aftermarkets in there, because why would I do that? There's only two of them. Anything under yellow, I'll replace it with a new ignition coil. I don't like to chance it. Not when we're trying to get it started here. Let's replace that oil filter. Go ahead and change out the oil while we're on it. And we'll lift it on up here. Just curious to see what this one's missing. ABS module. Exhaust manifold. Battery. Radiator. Power steering reservoir. Windshield wiper fluid reservoir. ECU. Brake servo. Starter, that's a different one. Fuel filter. Fuel rail, that's also different. Fuse type B. Fuse box cover. Oh, look at that, the belt tensor. Which, oddly enough, we need to move some parts to even get to. I guess we had some simulated sims come and just kind of jury rig it out. And the simulation will play. While we're doing that, we'll probably just replace that belt too. Oh, we can go ahead and bring that on down. While we're doing that, we'll repair some parts over here. I'll put them back on. Might as well repair them. And let's put the fluid back. Kind of like doing this. It's like instead of taking orders for the shop, it's like you gotta explore terror, resolve, figure out what the problem is in order to resolve the problem. Whereas the orders just tell you what it is. This one you're getting it from the barn, figuring out why it's not starting, and then getting it started, selling it over for a profit, which is, in some cases, like you saw in the last repair, a lot bigger than any shop order was paid out. Of course, that was a supercar, so gotta have previous knowledge repairing other cars before you're gonna repair that one. Even though the mechanics are about the same, to be honest. Just a few extra parts that you wouldn't see in a normal vehicle, really. More performance-based as well. I would still look at the same parts, though, just starting out to see what's wrong with it, why it wouldn't start. Well, with that, let's go ahead. Okay, can't do that, so what am I missing here? Oh, that starter's in pretty bad condition. Just replace the fluids and the filter. Obviously have all the clips on there. Did we get the battery put back in? Or is that the old one? Oh, that's a new one. Got a new fuel pump. Already checked the spark plugs. Let's go ahead and run that electric meter and see if any other fuses need replaced. Starter definitely needs replaced. What else thinking? Fuse type B needs replaced. Probably took out the fuse when the starter went out. And now let's get it, well, type of engine is it? There we go. Should be able to move it up and put in a new one. There we go. shaft is looking very bad. So is the piston. Might still be able to get it to run though. Though, whoever buys it is in for a terrible surprise. Hope they're not driving it for too long, yeah. As I'm not tearing apart the entire engine to fix that. Yes, I have to. It's starting to sound like I might have to. If it interferes with the start. So we got that starter and the fuse replaced. We're still not starting. We know the spark plugs are good, the ignition coils are good. Fuel rail and the throttle were just replaced. Yeah, this isn't looking good. Let's go ahead and put it up on the lift and check the clutch assembly. I might have to tear apart the engine. Uh-oh. Clutch assembly minus the bearing. Look really bad. Yep, that plate will need replaced. And I might as well replace the rest of it too. Pressure plate could be the reason it wasn't starting. It was so bad. Let's repair that gearbox before we put that back on. Ah, shit. Alright, let's go ahead and see if we can get it started. No go. Well, let's start by taking this off of here. That wouldn't prevent it from starting. Those camshafts good though. But as long as we're this far into it, I might as well replace those pistons and rings that were bad anyway. Water pump pulley we'll need to replace. Oh, well. Now I'd have to say whoever gets this engine isn't the most lucky, but they're getting a good one. It's gonna last for some time. For some time. I wouldn't drive across the country with it, but definitely get you to and from. Oh, that's the weirdest oil pan design. I'm gonna replace that. Might as well replace the crankshaft while we're in here. Because it is at 14%, so. Alright, so let's remove those pistons and rings. And we can get that out and repair it real quick. Or rebuild the crankshaft, hopefully. We won't be able to rebuild it. It's too low. So let's see if I already have one, which I do. And we can get those mirror caps put in after I go over here. More than likely I should be able to repair a few of those. Looks like they're getting a new timing cover. Well, they'll never have any big failures on this one, I'll tell you that. Maybe a piston here and there, but other than that, it's gonna last. Put that new cam on there. Get a new cam for this one. let's go ahead and lift it on up. Start putting these caps back on. Shaft, and we can go ahead and bring her on down. Finish the top part of the engine down, where we start refilling fluids. Alright, I'm gonna have to put you guys on a quick hold, and I'll be right back with you guys. Hello, this is Jason. About yourself. Yes, I'm currently working. What staffing agency did you say you were with again? What agency did you say you were with? The staffing agency? Okay. Yeah, I am currently looking for a position at this time, so I would be open to hearing about anything you have. Preferably. Well, I'd also be open to on-site. I mean, I'm not excluding it at this point. Alright, I am back. I am sad to announce that my mute is not working anymore on my headphones, so it will only turn off. This is concerning, but we'll battle through it. Alright, so I did want to make sure while we're waiting here. Of something. I'm just confirming the audio is coming through for you guys right now. I mean, if the mute isn't working, who knows what else may not be working. I'm kind of gonna include this in my stop time, so you guys don't have to keep waiting, especially when we don't really have too much of the stream left to go here. Honestly, approaching the end. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to episode 3 of... Alright. So, I'm just gonna place you guys on another really quick hold, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, now I'm back here. Sorry about that. I received a call from a potential employer, but turns out he wasn't the brightest, so wouldn't want to work with him anyway. Oh, I do believe we have all the fluids in there. Where's the dip to the stick? Yep, do need oil. Alright, so that's going to look a lot better now. No parts in the road. And we can move it on out front. And see if we're able to get it started. Oh, sorry for that echo there. There we go. Starting up now. So I'm thinking that was probably the water pump, possibly a water pulley issue. Could have been one of the camshafts as well. But in either case, I don't think a piston or a piston ring was to be responsible for that. Upon tearing apart the engine, I found a few more other parts that could have been giving us that problem of a no start situation. But it is starting up now, so let's go ahead and see what we could get out of it. So the parts value is 14,425 credits, body value 3,876 credits, performance parts value 90 credits, condition bonus 0, buy price was 13,340 credits, sell price is 18,391 credits, making a profit of 5,051 credits. So we'll go ahead and sell that. Alright, and move on over here. Did go ahead and purchase some parts for this that I noticed were missing when I was working on the other vehicle. And we'll get that as well. And we got those repaired as well while working on the other one. and lift it up and put those exhaust pipes back in here. I'm gonna check something else out here as well. There's a fuel pump. And fuel rails missing. Got the steering pump needs replacement. And an idle roller. Timing cover. We'll get a new crankshaft on there. Another idle roller B. And the belt. With the belt tensor. Fan. Looks like we're missing a clip from the air filter cover. So we'll get that replaced right after we repair that cover a little bit. Which we kind of seems to be variable on that, so I'm guessing maybe a hacker or a bug. Because normally we would be able to repair it with the other vehicle. So I'm just gonna replace it. Filter look good. That's good. Okay, got the brake fluid, windshield wiper fluid, we'll put it in now. Coolant fluids in there. Trying to find that one elusive part. Some refer to it as the dipstick. There it is. Oh, not even that minimum. I know where it must be leaking here. And if it's not at minimum, I'm just going to replace some of the... Give them a free oil change here. That will replace that filter as well. Not the best, not the worst either. Let's move it out front, see if we can get it started. Still not starting. Let's go ahead and move it back to lift A. And run an electrical test on it. Relay type C looks like it needs to be replaced. C will be one of these. Alright, let's see if it'll turn over now. There we go. Well, it's starting up now. Oh, that's good. And before I go ahead and put it out to the new owner, I did want to go ahead and do an alignment on it, just as a courtesy. Headlights look like they're aligned, so that's good. And that, the parts value will be 26,321 credits. The body value will be 21,644 credits. Performance parts value is going to be 188 credits. Condition bonus is 1,260 credits. Buy price at 37,804 credits. And the sell price at 49,413 credits, putting the profit at 11,609 credits. So we'll go ahead and sell that. We've I actually made a fair amount of profit doing this, which is a little bit surprising. But we got that complete. Let's go ahead and check out some salvage parts here. Got about 36 pages of them, so we'll get started with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 14, 15, 7, 8, 9, 19. Set a new record at 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 13. 2, 1, 2, For those of you who are on the web, this is a segment I do on my streams where essentially I count to see how many times in a row I am able to achieve the bonus for salvage parts. Not the most entertaining part of the stream. However, given I do need to try to get salvage parts, it does fill in the gaps of boredom, I guess you might say. Kind of why it was created, so I'm not just sitting here trying to get in the green or the blue and the quiet. Much more engaging if I count how many times I get it. Was the thought behind it. In either case, we made a record of 19 today. That's one over our previous record. That's cool. Now we're sitting a little low on time, but I did say we'd take orders, so let's go ahead and start with this one. We'll move that on over to lift day. And we'll go ahead and finish with this one. Over to lift B. And since we've already got the vehicle in here, might as well give him a free car wash. Maybe vacuum it up a bit for him. There we go. I'll go ahead and run this through the car wash as well. And back. Those rims are really nice. See what's wrong with this one here. Car is loud, grinding and shaking gearbox, repair all gear faults, and transmission is loosely. So exhaust and transmission is what we get down to here. We already know we're going to have to replace the gearbox based on the condition of it, just looking at it. Oh. Poly start there. This has repair all running gear issues, transmission not responsive, general gearbox and control and repair, transmission is loosely. So this has transmission issues as well. So we'll go ahead and get that on the list. And I'm going to come over here and start removing the tires. Since this engine is inverted, as I like to say, we will need to remove both axles in order to remove the drive shaft, in order to remove the gearbox. Which will we need to remove in order to replace. So now we can remove the drive shaft and the starter, or we remove this. And it looks like all of the clutch assembly is going to need to be replaced. So go ahead and start by removing the pressure plate, and the clutch plate, and the flywheel. I will go ahead and replace it. And brand new gearbox. Thankfully, I have an overabundance of that particular gearbox. And before we put that on, let me see. Everything should be good there. Put that starter in there. And there we go. On both of these tires. And we also have an exhaust issue on this one, which can be pointed out by the catalytic converter. This condition, we'll replace that. And let's see if that resolves it. That should resolve everything. So finish that. That'll be 4,723 credits. Now, this had a transmission issue as well as, yeah, that was it. So only issues here are transmission and general gear issues. So I could tell you right now, general gear issues are in relation to this. We call it, I got this drive. Is it yeah, that's the. No, that's not. The steering rack. Jesus, I don't know why that took me so long to get. Well, I do. I'm not saying. I know exactly why it took me so long. There we go. And let's go ahead and remove this starter. And we can get this gearbox off. Let me see. Clutch release bearing. That's going to need to be replaced alongside the flywheel and the clutch. So, new flywheel, new clutch, and we could put on that same clutch pressure plate. Seemed to be okay at 67. And the gearbox will need to replace as well. Steering rack did resolve one of the running gear issues. The other one, as you probably have seen, resides partially with this spring cap in the rear here. We replace that, and the spring and the top cap should be okay. Just that bottom cap that was giving us some problems. There. Now there's one other issue that we have to find. Could very well just be a bushing. Usually it is. Now let's put that starter back in there. Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably a bushing. Nothing else is popping out at me. So I'm gonna put these tires back on. Put those tires back on. And should be good for the test pad. Rubber bushing. I already knew that part. Question is where it's at. Oh, this one right here. And we'll put that new one in there. Bring her on down on the lift. That should be good to go. Yep, that is good to go. We repaired all running gear faults at 860 credits. Transmission not responsive, 900 credits. General gearbox control and repair. That's going to be the the rear's cap, spring cap, shock absorber cap, whatever you want to call it. Transmission, well, the rear cap and the bushing is what it was, but the transmission is noisy. That was essentially almost the entire clutch assembly. Was that? Yeah, almost the entire clutch assembly, but the pressure plate, as well as the gearbox. We needed to replace that as well. Running gear issues had to do with the steering rack. But task bonus was 1,775 credits. Job bonus was 1,328 credits. Total payout is 5,488 credits for a finish. Right there. All right, and I hate to hold you, but gonna have to hold you for 1 second. Wait, don't move. I'm holding you. You can't move. I'm holding you. So, with that, I would like to thank you for joining me for today's stream. You could always join me again on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Twitch, and on Fridays today on this channel, my main YouTube channel, at youtube.com/JASHN2000 from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And if you enjoyed watching and would like to see more of this content, please feel free to like and subscribe. The Twitch channel, by the way, is going to be at twitch.tv/JASHN2000. So the username is identical to my YouTube channel. So if you'd like to check that out, feel free. Like I was saying, I do that Monday and Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And as always, thanks for watching, and